calls for protests in the port city of Tobruk this Friday. Mass demonstrations haven't spread to the capital, Tripoli, but organizers are urging people to take to the streets there after Friday prayers. Now, we can't independently verify videos online coming from Libya, but they appear to show a different story of mass anti-government rallies. Caroline Malone reports.
Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi has been out on the streets of the capital Tripoli with his supporters, as many other cities see anti-government protests. These are images from state TV. It's quite a contrast to the footage seen on the internet of anti-government demonstrations. A gunshot is heard, and a man who appears fatally injured is seen lying on the road. This is some of the strongest evidence yet, corroborating witness accounts from Libya. This video, said to be filmed in Benghazi, was uploaded to YouTube.
Yesterday in Benghazi, the protesters' number rose to nearly 20,000 people. It was an extremely difficult time. The security forces have used even some sort of acid gas against the protesters, a lot of casualties. There are orders now to hospitals not to receive the wounded people from the protesters, and in Darna and Al Bayda there is an order to the Red Crescents not to distribute any blood.
In clear defiance of Muammar Gaddafi's leadership, protesters burning a monument to the Green Book, written by the colonel to outline his political views. The video was posted on YouTube and said to have been filmed in the city of Tobruk on Thursday, during nationwide protests for Libya's Day of Rage. Some of the worst casualty numbers were reported in the city of Bayda, many there in a critical condition with gunshot wounds. Caroline Malone, AlJazeera.
And we're also hearing of rival protests taking place in Yemen and in the capital Sana'a in particular. Security there was tight during Friday prayers. Thousands expected to take to the streets there. And there are now also reports of at least 8 anti-government protesters injured in the city of Taiz after assailants threw a hand grenade at them. This is according to Yemeni opposition sources and witnesses there. Let's speak to our correspondent Hashim Ahel-Bara, who joins us on the line from Sana'a. Hashim, what can you tell us about the situation in Yemen? What's the latest?
Well, pro-democracy protesters have called for a day, a Friday of rage in the city of Taiz, which has become sort of focal point of the pro-democracy movement to topple President Ali Abdullah Saleh. Early in the morning, the local television was showing pictures of thousands of what they described as pro-government supporters marching in the city. Then the pro-democracy protesters started gathering more people from neighboring villages to support them, and this is where clashes start amid reports of a grenade thrown at anti-government protesters. Here in the capital, as soon as the Friday prayers came to an end, pro-democracy protesters took to the street only to be confronted with very angry government supporters. The trend has been the same. They're armed with batons, with sticks, jambiyat or daggers, threatening the protesters that they will attack them if they don't go back home. It's pretty much tense here in the capital and also in the city of Taiz, where thousands and thousands of people are now marching in the streets asking for radical change in the country. Also in the city of Aden, it's very tense. Yesterday, a person was killed, a protester was killed by security forces. Today, a building of a local council building was set on fire by people in a flashpoint district of Ben Uthman in Aden, which is a stronghold of the secessionist movement. So it's really very tense, and the momentum is picking up here in the capital, Sana'a, and across the country amid a huge deployment of security forces.
So thank you very much. A day of anger underway in Yemen and a very volatile situation, as Hashim Ahelbara tells us there. Thanks, Hashim, for that update. Now, the Iraqi government has imposed a curfew in parts of the country in response to angry protests there also across the country. At least 3 people have been killed. In Basra in the south, protesters have blocked a bridge. They're calling on the provincial governor to quit and are demanding better services from the government. Convicted of stealing state secrets. Stay with us to find out the U.S. reaction after a Chinese court upheld the jail sentence handed to an American geologist. And we'll meet the doctors trying to contain Haiti's deadly cholera outbreak. Stay with us.
As the hot spell extends across the Gulf, we'll still make sure you feel refreshed.
Hello again. Let's start off with a look at Madagascar, because it does look like things are going to get worse for us once more. If we look at the satellite picture, we can see plenty of cloud over us, and the little circulation in the south there, that was our tropical storm as it gradually made its way down towards the southeast. It certainly gave us a lot of torrential downpours. It hung around for a good long time as it made its way first across the northern parts of the island and then across the south. So plenty more wet weather here still to come as we head through the day on Saturday. The wettest weather again is likely to be in the northwest, brought in by these winds here, and also in the southeast. Let me play the satellite picture again though, because just off to the east we do appear to have another storm developing, and this one could well follow the same track that our other one did. So if it does, it looks like we're going to see yet more torrentially heavy rain and yet more flooding and landslides too. Now, a bit further north and here in Doha, it's far calmer than that. We'll look at around 22 degrees as our top temperature on Saturday. And that's actually a little bit down on the temperatures we're currently seeing. So it will get fresher once more. To the north of us, well, things are far more active here. You can see very strong winds piling their way northwards. And over Turkey, some very heavy rain, particularly in the west. That's thanks to a storm system that's currently making its way across the eastern parts of the Mediterranean.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
As geeks take on dictators, bloggers turn dissidents, and social networks root for social justice, governments are going cyber, spying on their citizens, erecting firewalls like iron curtains, and closing down websites. We ask, is cyber-generated change virtual or real? Empire at this time on Al Jazeera.
Welcome back. The top stories on Al Jazeera. Tens of thousands of Egyptians are in Cairo's Liberation Square as part of a nationwide march of victory. They're celebrating the overthrow of former President Hosni Mubarak 1 week ago today.